So as you follow along to this routine, all our sticks that we use are color coded. And if you buy yours off of Amazon or Temu or wherever you buy your tools, if you bought the same ones, they obviously don't come color coded. So I'm just gonna show you and explain which are which, just so that you know. So we don't use these first two because they're too big to use for anything, so you can just set those aside, because in most of my videos, we don't use them. And so you're left with these. So in this order, you can look, and it basically goes in this order from biggest to smallest: green, blue, white, yellow, pink, and black, down to the smallest one. So for today's mandala, I'm going to be using this color palette, and there is a lot of mixing involved, so just a heads up. So for paint color A, I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface Parchment. For B, I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface Gold Ochre. For C, I'm using 3 different colors. I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface Pumpkin, so probably like 70% of that. And then Craft Smart Multi-Surface Cherry, and probably like 20% of that one. And Craft Smart Multi-Surface Cocoa Bean, and like 10% of this to get C. For paint color D, I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface Camouflage, and I'm adding just a small little drop of Craft Smart Multi-Surface Black. And then for paint color E, I'm using this one again, the Craft Smart Multi-Surface Camouflage, and I'm just gonna add some white to it. And then for paint color F, I'm using Craft Smart Multi-Surface Radiant Gold. Okay, so are we ready to get started on the cup?
Yes!
Okay, so for the first step, we're gonna take the blue stick with paint color A, and we're gonna put it right in the middle. If you look closely on your mug, there's like a little white dot, and that's your middle.
Oh, I know a little white dot.
And she said put a big white.
And so what do I do? Okay.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly,
Pink twirly.
smaller end, with paint color C.
And which end are you using?
Smaller end. This one. Color C.
Yeah.
And so we wanna make sure our design is as symmetrical as possible. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna place one dot basically north of our middle dot. Then you're gonna look right across from that one and place one south.
Is it touching? Not quite touching.
No, yeah, you wanna get it as close as you can, but not touching.
Is this C?
Yes, C. And then one to the east and to the west, so that we have these 4 like guiding dots basically.
You want to get it?
Okay, once you have these first 4 dots,
What?
once we have these first 4 dots, you're gonna go in between them and put dots
Same
like
with the
this.
small? You're still
Just
doing
one
Mhm.
in between them?
Yeah,
With a small thing?
yes. Same size, same color. So you should have 8 dots.
We asked like 4 times.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the black stick
Black. Little tiny black. Black.
with paint color D, and we're gonna put these basically in between the ones we did, because you can't put them in between because there's not enough room, so you just kind of wedge them in there as much as you can. So like in between but above. I'll be 15 in March.
Aw, you're the same age as my daughter.
should
Okay.
probably bring Gracie because
Good.
she
Those are
is,
very close.
she is an artist,
D.
Gracie.
Oh, you're great.
It's not like this stuff.
You're putting them all in between now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me just do that, what she's doing.
What she's doing, in between, go.
I like what
D,
she said.
right?
She said E, I thought.
No, it was D.
D.
The one that's over there.
Okay, next step.
Yeah.
Just gonna-
Next step, we're gonna take the black stick and the yellow twirly.
Stick,
Black,
yellow,
yeah.
Black stick and yellow turtles.
There's one.
Okay, so using the black stick with paint color B,
B or D?
B as in boy.
And which end of the twirly do you use?
We haven't gotten there.
So we're using just the black stick for now. So you're gonna put a dot right there. Then with the smaller end, you're gonna drag down as far as you can go, making a little teardrop. Like that.
Which end that one?
Which end is she using in this?
Is the
Smaller end, yes.
Okay, let's,
And should you, after you do the dot, should you do that?
Oh,
yeah, should you do the drag right away?
Yeah, because we don't want these dots to dry out before we
so
can get to
You
them.
use the yellow small end,
Yes.
and it's B, right? We're doing
Yeah.
A B, yes, B.
And I like those colors, those greens and yellows together.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly, the smaller end,
small end.
with paint color F,
F,
Oh,
Oh my gold.
okay, F.
and we're gonna place two little dots here, basically above or in between the teardrops.
In between. And the smaller end?
Yes,
And you're using E?
F, F.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink stick with paint color E,
cleaned it up.
It does kind of colors.
You have water there.
and we're gonna put these dots basically above the two little ones.
Whoops, what color were you using?
E.
Supposed to dip it in.
It is cute.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly with paint color C, and we're gonna walk the dots. So bigger end of the pink twirly for this first dot, then you'll switch to the smaller end and walk the dots around.
Oh, I see.
C,
Oh, can you do that one more time?
big dot. And what letter were you using?
C. So bigger end for this first dot, and then you'll switch to the smaller end and then walk the dots.
Bigger, just the first stop, and then we do what?
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly again with paint color A, and we're gonna walk the dots again. So bigger end for this first dot, then you'll switch to the smaller end and walk the dots around.
It's gonna go above the previous.
That's exactly what it did. Sorry about that.
July and August, I would think.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take
Yeah, I know that's Sephora.
Next step,
pink twirly, smaller end with paint color D. And we're gonna start here in between the first and the second dot of the walking the dots. And we're gonna drag down in between.
You're asking.
On both sides then?
Yes.
And then are you connecting them or are you?
So make sure, okay, one thing, at the top, they don't touch. So they're gonna have this gap like that in
okay.
between. But at the bottom, if it touches, if it doesn't matter.
And we use the small one?
Yes, small end.
If we're doing D,
D, yes.
I may need fortification for this.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the white twirly, the bigger end, with paint color F. And what we're gonna do, so we're gonna place one dot right here in between. Then you're gonna place another dot right above it, like that. And then two dots to the side, like this, so we get like a diamond kind
Are
of.
they big end for all 4 dots?
Yes.
there's a, there
Right
you go.
twirler.
And it's
This one.
between-
Big twirl.
Okay.
What color?
F.
1, 2, 3, 4, F.
Okay.
long is it?
Grocery store.
Does it take that long?
Just a strip.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the yellow stick
We
with
haven't used that one yet.
paint color B, and we're gonna put this dot right above the 4 like that.
Oh,
About a little above the what?
Above our diamond that we did.
This is gonna take me.
And this is a yellow one?
no,
It's bigger. And they're off.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the pink twirly
Pink twirly.
with paint color E as an elephant, and we're gonna walk the dots.
Was it big or?
So bigger end for the first dot, but you're not gonna switch to the smaller end. You're just gonna re-dip with the bigger. Whoa. Let me try that again. So
D?
E.
dying.
No, no. Supposed to be connected.
I'm not really dying.
And then we're gonna walk the dots with the bigger end. So you're just not gonna switch to the smaller end.
What color are you using?
E as an elephant.
And it's the pink
Twirly, bigger end.
bigger.
Okay, next step, we're gonna take the white twirly with paint color C, and we're gonna walk the dots. So bigger end for the first dot, and you'll switch to the smaller end to walk the dots.
So we're walking the dots around walking the dots.
Yep,
And with what color?
A.
C.
Kidding.
Okay, next step, we're gonna walk the dots again with the white twirly bigger end with paint color D. And we're gonna use the bigger end for the first dot and walk the dots with the bigger end.
Okay, you're gonna have to repeat that again, I'm sorry.
So we're just walking the dots again with the white twirly bigger end with paint color D. And we're not gonna switch to the smaller end.
We're not switching.
Not switching.
Just like that.
Okay, next step, we're gonna need the black stick and the blue twirly. And we're gonna use paint color A. And all we're doing is walking the dots again. So using the black stick for the first dot, and then you'll walk the dots with the blue twirly bigger end.
And then you said walk the dots
With the
with
big
the
end.
same big end on the blue.
Yes.
And we're gonna walk the dot with the blue big stick.
Which end is the blue stick? Oh, the big end.
The big end, yes. take the pink twirly with paint color F. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna place,
Not the twirly.
sorry, not pink twirly, pink stick. Pink stick, and we're gonna make little diamonds. But, so you place this first dot, and then you're gonna place one above it, but leaving a gap in between, and then two to the side.
I'll pour them in here.
How'd you do that?
Paste.
Oh, are you using the other end of it?
On that last one we just did.
Which end are you using?
I'm using the pink stick,
Huh?
pink stick,
Pink stick, and then,
with paint color F.
oh, you just put a big dot and then something in the middle of it, right?
Just the bigger dot.
So now I'm going to go over and do some overlapping now that it's fully dry. I'm going to take the black stick with paint color D, and I'm going to overlap these dots here.
Now I'm gonna take the white twirly bigger end with paint color D, and I'm gonna overlap these dots here. I'm gonna take the black stick again with paint color D, and I'm gonna overlap these. And when you overlap them, they should all be kind of like facing towards each other in the center, like this. And then for the last overlapping step, we're gonna need the yellow stick with paint color D again. And we're gonna overlap this middle dot